Hi, it's Stephanie Everett from the Suburban Chateau, and here we are at day 20 of our countdown to Christmas on the Suburban Chateau. And today, I want to share with you some ideas for journaling at Christmas time. And I find it's a great way to write down some of your gift giving lists, things you might need for your recipes that you're making. I love pens and I love writing and I love calligraphy. And I want to share with you a couple of journaling tips that I've been using this holiday season. And I do love to make lists. I don't know, there's something about it for me that's fun, especially when I accomplish those things that are on the list. That's especially fun. But I'm going to share with you a couple special journals that I've been working on this holiday season and maybe give you some ideas as you get more organized for the holidays. Now, anyone who knows me knows that I am a very creative person, and organization is not my personal gift. But I'll tell you what, I really appreciate organization. I appreciate everything that's put before me that helps me organizationally. At school, when things come up, the Google Classroom is one of the greatest things I think was ever invented. And I have latched on to what I can use with that because it helps me keep so organized and connect my students. And it is really important to me to stay organized. Now, if you were to walk into my house right now, you'd see that my dining room table looks like a bomb hit it. But I've got an hour carved out of my schedule to work on that, just isn't this hour yet. But I really think that organization is the key to success, especially at the holidays. For me, just even producing these videos was an organizational feat. And so we're going to talk a little bit about spreadsheets and how important spreadsheets can be to help you kind of hone in on your priorities. But the big motivation for me behind all of these videos was that I finished one of my favorite musicals, The Music Man, in mid-November. And I knew that Thanksgiving was coming up, and I knew I'd have a little time to work on the house and work on some projects and work on videos. And I just decided that this year I would try the Advent videos, or Vlogmas as they call them. And I was really excited, and I am watching several other channels that are doing daily videos just to get ideas, just to see what other people are doing or how they approach it as well. So one of the very first things that I purchased to sort of help me keep on track was a holiday planner. And you can see here in the video, I'm working on the very first thing I'm getting marked into my holiday planner is just my calendar. And that took me maybe an hour to accomplish between the middle of November and the end of December, just to get everything written into that. I am in a symphony, so we had multiple rehearsals, and you can see that right there. I am involved in many school activities where my students are playing and I'm conducting. I also am a drama teacher, and we're starting a new play and having a read-through soon. So I had a lot of different things going on at school, with the symphony, and personally. So for me, getting that calendar just kind of cemented in, and even just taking a look at, I love to use my iPad calendar, but just even writing it down, looking at my iPad and writing it down on a holiday planner helped me kind of cement my schedule into my mind. So that's one of the important things I feel to get going. It's really, really important. Now, on the calendar, although I have many things going on, for me, it's very, very important to make time for yourself. And so one of the things that I did in December is I made time for my yoga class. I couldn't make every yoga class, but I tried to make it once a week because that's really important for me. It helps me clear my head up. I made time for meditation. That for me, again, is super important. Every month I do a little therapy. I got my therapy session in, and I do work with someone who does trigger point massage therapy. And so I made sure I got in to see her, and I'll probably see her once before that holiday hits again, just because she really helps me with my violin playing. And I have a lot of that going on. So for me, making that time for self-care, it's very, very, very important when you're heading into the holidays. Incredibly important. So I really recommend that even when you're working on that calendar. The other thing that I found that the planner was helpful for was just with list making. And sometimes that's making lists for gifts. I give a lot of small gifts out to people that I work with, or handmade gifts or things like that. And I needed to make a list so that I didn't forget anyone. I give some gifts out to the people in my violin section in the symphony and some other colleagues that I have there. And so it was really important to me when I was making these lists that I knew a lot of the handmade gifts I gave this year were candles, and I wanted to make sure I had enough candles. So that was really important, that I don't want to be surprised by anything when I'm working things out. And staying organized really, really helps you with that. So I think making lists for gifts is a big part of that as well. But I think overall, the thing that I found that was the most helpful was working with a spreadsheet. And I made different spreadsheets, and I'll just show you real quickly here on the screen what they look like. I made different spreadsheets for different activities. So I had a very big spreadsheet for, of course, my Vlogmas, all of my filming and my editing. And for me as an editor, this is incredibly helpful because it helps me keep track of what I've filmed, what I've edited, some of these things I did ahead of time. If I got a chance to get ahead, I did it. And in the same time, I've been doing crafting, I've been doing sewing, different sewing projects, different cooking projects, all of these things. And I've been able to fit it all together. And I'm very pleased with the outcome. I'm happy with how everything turned out. And I think a lot of it is due to just making some spreadsheets. The other thing I did was I would create weekend spreadsheets so that I could keep track of what activities I had to do during the weekend, whether it was cleaning, groceries, cleaning a particular room, making a particular bed, whatever it was, decorating a tree, all of those things that I had to do, not only for the vlogs, but in preparation for Christmas. I found that those spreadsheets were great. And then I would label them with different colors. And as I finished them, I put a hot pink color. That meant it was done or party. So as I changed some of those colors, I was able to say, yep, that's all done. And then I could go on to the next thing. And I also try to, when I'm organizing things or I'm looking at a spreadsheet with a lot of activities, I try to look at what can I accomplish and finish. And then I go on to the next thing. And it keeps you from getting discouraged about something that might take a little bit longer, like my dining room table organization, which is going to take me an hour somewhere here. But I'll find the hour and I'll make it happen. And I'll try to share it with you when I have that dining room table organized and set up properly. But I just thought I'd share some of these organizing tips. And honestly, this comes from a very cluttery, non-organized person who has just had to adapt to these tips. And so I hope you take some of these ideas and possibly use them when you're prepping for your holidays as well. And maybe I should have done this first, but I thought I would talk about how that organization has helped me up to this point. So maybe looking forward towards the next holiday season, you can use some of these. So a planner, spreadsheets, making time for yourself, and just finding that motivation. Super important. Hope this helped you a little bit and help make your holidays a little bit more organized. Thanks so much for joining me on day 20 of our countdown to Christmas. I hope I gave you some organizational tips that you can use when you're prepping for the holidays. Thanks for joining me here at the Suburban Chateau.